Assalamualaikum. Ashwad Ismail.
Yes, Dato Seri.
Sekarang seorang KP. Amazing. From a journalist to a producer lah, to a editor, to a chief editor, and then lepas tu you went across flotilla, you got arrested, you came back alive looking so much younger. And how did all this start?
Even I wonder myself, how did it start? But growing up as a single child, I think my environment shaped who I am today. In fact, I grew up with the influence of the elderlies, my late grandparents, my late father, of course, and a lot of grand uncles. Some of them still alive, some of them have passed on. In the world of unknowns, in which when I was younger, I don't know what I want to do in life. As simple as that. What am I good at? Certain things that it was shaped as such. I'll give you one example. I played sepak takraw before, but I didn't know that I was good at it. I played a lot of sports, but growing up as someone can be considered as hyperactive. My mother enrolled me.
I can vouch for that. You're still hyperactive.
My mother enrolled me into a private sports club, football club to be precise. And it shaped me who I was and who I am today. And kalau nak diperhatikan dengan lebih teliti, from world of academic, I was really bad at it. I'm not good at exam. I'm not good in putting attention in classes. And I fail many subjects. And I spend a lot of my time, especially in sports. Besides sports, then my weakness was to give full attention in classes.
Tak boleh. Concentration span tu.
The attention span was very low. Even to then, there's no social media, but there's no attention span. I think super low attention span compared to my other classmates. Hence why I failed additional math, and I failed chemistry. My SPM wasn't great at all, and then after that, I dropped out accountancy. I was an accountancy student. I don't have any MBA from any good universities, and I didn't have any good credential with regards to the world of academic journey. And I think when people offered me something, I asked them twice, are you sure? I don't think, I'm not like other prominent figures who really excel in the world of academic, the whole throughout their journey, understand here and there. Kita menega macam-macam adalah, tapi kita taklah lalu perjalanan macam mana best student before.
You made somebody out of yourself. Tell me that journey.
I think Alhamdulillah because of I had a good mentors.
Maknanya pergaulan tu mustahak. Walaupun kita gagal dalam akademik, pergaulan kita sebagai mentor kita itu penting dalam kejayaan.
Good mentors, one of them, Dato Suhaimi Sulaiman, second Tan Sri Ismail. Of United Nations, and the one who shaped with that family friends from this Zalo Stark clan community helped me a lot in terms of understanding the world, understanding challenges, and navigating the challenges is another, and managing that as well. For example, when we're not good in school, when we're not good in classes, of course, you don't know how to navigate certain things.
I like that word, navigating your challenges. So, sebabkan audience kita kadang-kala, bila kita dah gagal, kita jatuh, sekali susah nak bangun, dua kali kebanyakannya tidak akan bangun. Tetapi ni disebabkan pergaulan, disebabkan kenalan dan navigation of your challenges tu. Tell us more. You know, this is a message to the people out there, that you can succeed.
Most important part is to recognize your weaknesses as well as your strength. I recognize my weaknesses more than I recognize my strength. And then you understand how to go about the weaknesses. And in fact, if you ask me personally on how to identify weaknesses, in which to me that's also a strength. Success could only happen if you move from one failure to another. One failure, up to the point that
you learn from the failures as well?
Learn is one thing, but having the ability to face another failure is another.
You learn and then you must have the strength, kekuatan untuk menghadapi cabaran yang
satu lagi.
Kegagalan atau cabaran yang satu
Sebab
lagi.
dia asyik gagal je dalam hidup ni. So bila dia gagal kata okay. Then you fail another round. So then you start to focus on what would be your next step, one after another, one after another. Hence why I think I have to thank throughout the journey of my career building as a journalist. I'm very thankful previous leadership of Astro. And for example, Rohana Rozahan, and then after that, Mr. Henry Tan, of course, Suhaimi throughout the journey. Suhaimi was my lecturer, making sure when I failed twice and then jump into a super focused niche of broadcast management and marketing communication in Academy TV3. Suhaimi was the one who hand-holding me throughout.
Oh, wow.
So I think he could
He's a
see,
fabulous man.
yeah, he could see things. He could see this particular kid
Has got this
something.
particular niche.
He took me in. In fact, I was supposed to report to TV3 back then, but I decided to join his small little company, doing a lot of big little works.
I love that. Small little company, big little works.
And while working on a lot of new things at that time, online TV wasn't that big, but online TV, we were big on online TV project. And then, back in 2005, 2005, yeah. 2005.
Mula-mula kan
No,
online
yeah.
TV.
I haven't graduated yet. I was supposed to further my study in Melbourne University, but I decided to choose money over. I'm not sure whether it's a right move or wrong move, so we cannot say things on behalf of others. But on behalf of myself, I am glad I chose that path. So Suhaimi pun was really great. That time, he knows internship. I give one example. Internship in 2005, I rasa my batch yang pergi ke big media organisations, their intern or their internship, they were paid about what, 400 ringgit, 500 max.
450, 500.
500.
Oh, shock.
So Suhaimi gave me 3,000 ringgit. Then he asked me one good question. Do you want to be small fish in a big pond, or do you want to be a big fish in a quite a medium-sized pond but ready to be at the bigger sea? So I said, okay, as long as the money is there. So I decided to not to further my study, postpone my study to Melbourne University. Instead, I continued the journey as an intern, and after that he took me in as a permanent staff. That was the point where Astro approached us to propose Malaysia's first 24-hour news network.
Wow.
Called What Astro AWANI now.
And that's what you
That was
and Suhaimi.
20 years ago, and then 19 years of establishment of Malaysia's first 24-hour news network, Astro AWANI. Yeah.
That was your challenges. You navigated your challenges. You had that strength in you until you are where you are now. But what message that you have sent to me now after listening to you talk is you tak lupa your beginning.
What helped was the nature of being a journalist. In which the nature of being a journalist is, among others, would be you will always on ground. You need to understand the pulse, whether the pulse of the industry, whether the pulse of the people, whether the pulse of the workers, whether the pulse of everybody. So the pulse. I think that's the nature of being a journalist. Hence why journalists work hand in hand with politicians, most of them. Hence why we know each other because of that too, because of that dynamic and the same symbiosis. Because policymakers, journalists, communicators, semua ni dia ada hubung kait yang tinggi. I think sharing this particular journey with the rest of the people, yang kita nak abang ke orang kata, it's okay to fail.
Yes.
It's okay. What most important is the impact that you want to bring to the people and to the ground.
Betul.
The beginning tak boleh lupa. Sebab kalau kita lupa beginning, kita ada masalah kat tengah. So bila kita nak sampai tengah, kita tak boleh lupa pula yang tengah nak sampai. And sometimes I consider myself and why did I make this decision to join the government?
Yes, I was going to ask you that. From a corporate sector, you know, you were doing so well, and then now you're doing better, but government.
Yeah, I think
that shifts.
Orang kata okay, mungkin Ashwad nak belajar kot tengok belah government. I think that's the right answer too. Nak belajar juga at the same time and understanding because we've been working with government the whole journey of 19 years as a journalist, even as an entity running private entity that look deeper into how to sustain and survive in terms of your PNL. Anak-anak buah you 120 orang nak kena periuk nasi, nak kena jaga.
Betul.
So all of this needs good dynamic and maintain certain level of optimism and also agile in dealing with partners, stakeholders. So sebab when in leadership, I think what I learned best from Tan Sri Ismail told me, to be a good diplomat is not to make sure that everybody is happy, but to make sure is everybody understand what everybody's need. I think hence why he's one of a very prominent diplomat and could manage like everybody daripada pelbagai negara in the street of Manhattan.
Betul.
Then those days, kita pula tengok macam mana they navigate the world. Up to the point that we feel that the world is small. Hence why then dia didik kita untuk ada purpose driven. Purpose dia untuk apa kita buat ni. For example, throughout my journalism career, I decided to be there in Middle East all the time. I decided to be negara-negara berdepan dengan bencana. Setiap kali ada bencana, within 24 hours we have to be there. So apa yang kita nak buat adalah to gali the essence what's going on. How can I be useful to the society? Selamat kita ni, role kita ni apa ni untuk nak hidup di atas muka bumi ya? Sekali kita tanya. Sebab kita sentiasa rasa tak berguna. Because when you fail a lot in life, right? SPM pun tak terror, but nothing, no success story that can make your parents proud. So I keep on asking myself, dah lah aku anak seorang, tak ada adik-beradik lain. What can make them be or feel proud of? Among others, then I got this opportunity, and then after that, throughout, I was part of the Astro Emerging Leaders Program to build who I am. As from leadership perspective, out of 3,000 or out of 4,000 staff, they chose 12 people for my batch. And that's also partner up with Melbourne University, Astro, Melbourne University, as well as some of the Harvard trainers.
Wow.
Okay lah, I think 1 year journey throughout this leadership course, and we were exposed to training with CNN of the world and understanding a lot of partners across Malaysia, across the region, juga internationally. Saya rasa alhamdulillah lah, dia main ikut tu. Dia tak main ikut cara
the mundane way. The normal way.
The normal way rather, yeah.
You have been at one end of the spectrum in the corporate sector, Astro dan pelbagai. Now you are with the government, decision maker, policy creator. What would you do? Was your challenge there that you could fix here?
Oh wow, this one I have to express my deepest gratitude to those lecturers, trainers when I did my senior fellowship in public service, Lee Kuan Yew School of Public.
Yes, I read that.
National University of Singapore. So yeah, I think Professor Cheong Guan and Prof Yaakob and the rest of those professors really not just expose, not just about learning, but also rigorously look into one particular matter, and that's how you realize to form a policy that look across all spectrums comprehensively, not just short term, medium term, but could sustain long term, adalah sesuatu benda yang sangat sukar. And then you realize to be a policy maker, and you went through that journey, and you were senator, bertarung, bertempur, berbahas, berdebat, bergaduh, melobi. So I think those drive my understanding and push me further into, okay, now let's swim into this pula. Then you realize from corporate sector, you've been doing predominantly driven by purpose, which is almost the same purpose. It's just that when I was with Astro AWANI, it's more on revenue making to make sure we can sustain the business, ROI, my first priority. Now I'm leading Jabatan Penyiaran Malaysia. Commercial driven is not really my number 1 priority. It's more number 2 priority, or rather number 3 priority. What number 1 is only 2 areas. How you can be better in terms of 1, empower the people. People means we serve the rakyat, empower the rakyat. And second, making sure the industry not just survive but succeed. So these 2 areas, when I was in AWANI, I realized that okay, these are also my areas, which is we are pro people, pro business, and pro nation building. Same goes when you are inside. Nation building is definitely number 1, people number 1, and business also number 1. So area of prioritization is very clear. So the best about being in government is that we have the ability to see ourselves beyond competition. It's more on the competition rather than competition. Cooperate, compete. For example, how I see Astro, how RTM see Astro, how Jabatan Penyiaran see Astro, they are not our competitor. How we see Media Prima, we are not competing each other. We are as one entity of so-called making sure people in the media industry not just survive but succeed. Also the industry grow. And navigating throughout this particular, the world of, I would say, full of challenges yang kita tak tahu apa nak mai, and impact daripada apa yang jadi Hormuz shock or Hormuz Straits straight to the people kat Kuala Nerang. So throughout this particular, I would say, the chain of impact, where are we? Are we here? Are we here? Are we here? Are we here? And we are everywhere along the way. So, how do we respond throughout this particular part of these challenges? How do we respond during this particular phase of challenging period? And macam mana to make sure orang dan industri naik sama-sama. That's why I said we don't have to look ourselves as competitor. This is an era where you have to collaborate more than competing.
Now is the era and days of collaboration. You collaborate, the pie is so big. You do not need to kill anyone. You can enhance each other and still make good money and good friends. And it is that energy that is needed in the world right now. With what's going on, we need that sort and form of energy. We need to collaborate more as opposed to compete against one another.
Dalam konteks ini, yang turut dia memberi impak langsung adalah cara orang melihat apa itu kepimpinan dan kepemimpinan. In this regards, according to Professor Collier, the best leader today adalah yang berani kata, oh, saya tak ada jawapan kepada benda ni, saya tak tahu dan kita perlukan semua orang untuk kita bersama untuk mencari jawapannya. So 30 years ago, we were exposed a leader must have a lot of all the answers in the world. Leader charismatic, bila dia kata dia lebih bersifat, kita tengok dia macam dia lah the best sebab dia boleh tompak dia punya leadership tu. Law ni, because everyone is intelligent here.
Betul?
Now collectively brain kita gabung pun nak fight dengan super agentic AI, kita kalah.
Betul?
Dan maknanya lah ni semua orang cerdik, even cerdik daripada cikgu dan leaders. Up to that extent because information tu masuk. Dan
laju.
People no longer search on Google. In fact, people just ask questions straight away from the AI platform. How do you define it? I think we are just a coordinator and the focal point to coordinate and empower everybody to make sure that they impactful and useful. And when you combine these force together, you are the focal point, you know nothing, but you bring them together.
So you are the coordinator. Seorang pemimpin tu perlu ada keyakinan diri untuk menjadi seorang penyelaras di mana berani untuk mencongkil bakat-bakat yang sedia ada. Because some leaders are afraid.
A leader could see that. They could see, okay, now with that strength, you should be my attacking midfielder rather than striker.
Dia bagi pengkhususan.
So, because of you know the weakness too, you could see deeper into the strength and you understand what would be his fear and weakness. Managing fear and weakness, that's another. But then with that, you complement each other because you have that fear, but that fear is actually his strength. And this fear is actually this strength.
Your last message, can you give me 3 ciri-ciri kepimpinan yang hebat? Kalau kita berada dalam situasi yang sangat mencabar, apakah satu perkara yang perlu kita ingat atau lakukan?
Be human. In the age of artificial intelligence, artificial super intelligence, be human, number 1. 2, be agile.
Be agile.
Sentiasa anjal. Kita macam getah dalam pajuan keadaan. Agile. Mana kata untuk berdepan dengan satu keadaan di mana kita terpaksa berubah mengikut dynamic of change. Perubahan kerana teknologi ini akan sentiasa memaksa kita untuk berubah. So you still kena bersifat seanjal yang mungkin. Third, this is what turun-temurun daripada tok nenek. I could identify 8 generations yang turun from 8 Temenggung Wan Musa of Kedah turun sampailah saya generasi yang ke-8 ni. Saya rasa the same thing adalah positive attitude and be kind.
Positive attitude
and be kind. Positive attitude tu help us, membantu kita untuk dalam apa jua keadaan kita berdepan, bila berdepan keadaan mencabar, apa patut kita buat. And because of that traits yang kita ada tadi, yang kita sebut, kita berdepan dalam keadaan yang kita tak tahu apa nak main, apa yang dalam kawalan kita adalah bagaimana untuk kita respon kepada situasi itu. So makna kata, mainlah apa bentuk pun, your response matters. Because yang tu dalam kawalan kita.
Again, many thanks. Tuan-tuan, perempuan di luar sana, kegagalan tidak berarti untuk selama-lamanya. Kegagalan akan membawa kejayaan jika kecekalan itu berada di dalam hati anda. Keikhlasan, kejujuran, kecekalan dan jangan mudah berputus asa. InsyaAllah, anda akan berjaya. Ashwad Ismail is the proven buktinya. Terima kasih.
Allah Ta'ala.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Dominasi jenama anda dengan dua sisi, TV dan digital dalam satu platform. Jangkauan lebih luas, impak lebih padu. Jenama anda bukan sekadar muncul, tapi diingati. Ini bukan tajaan biasa. Ini cara baru kuasai pasaran. Jom jadikan jenama anda pilihan utama Malaysia. Tempah slot anda sekarang.
Iklankan jenama anda agar dipercayai ramai. Layari www.knkvgroup.com. Anda mahu anjurkan acara yang berprestij? Layari www.knkvgroup.com. Anda perlukan latihan pemasaran untuk pasukan anda? Layari www.knkvgroup.com. KNKV Group, sebuah produksi periklanan, penganjur acara dan latihan pemasaran. Pilihan jenama-jenama unggul di Malaysia.